not very creative. How many times have you heard somebody say that, or have even said it yourself? A lot of people think that creativity is something you either have or you don't. But did you know that's not the case? Everybody has the ability to be creative. It just may not be in the traditional way you have in your head or the way the media portrays it. Hi, welcome back to Keep Coloring. I'm Kendall Young, and I'm definitely not a psychologist. Just a 24-year-old college student, here sharing some tips and tricks that I've learned while going through this difficult balancing act we call young adulthood. Here in episode 3, the short 5-episode podcast, I'm going to be talking a little more about creativity, how you can find your own form of it and use it yourself. Let's get started. So when you hear the word creative, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it Vincent van Gogh's paintings? Is it those perfect sketches that you see on TikTok by all the artists? Or is it something a little different, like maybe people who can take those recyclable items and turn them into a birdhouse or a pretty wreath? Yes, these are traditional forms of creativity, but those aren't the only ones out there. Just because you can only draw a stick figure doesn't mean you aren't creative. There's an aspect of creativity in everyone. It's just about finding what form works for you. So how do you find your form? This is where creative exploration comes into play. This is the fun journey of discovering what excites you, what gets your dopamine and serotonin to boost, what holds your attention that you're thinking about it at work or on your way home and you can't wait to dive back into it. Start with a simple question. What interests you? Maybe you've always liked planes and their design. Perhaps building some plane models would be a good outlet for you. Or maybe you've always enjoyed taking photos on your family trips. Maybe you should think about getting into photography. That might be a hobby you should consider that you would really enjoy. Or maybe you just love movies and video games. Perhaps start a blog about these franchises that you love so much. That could get those creative juices flowing and can also get that passion lit inside you. Of course, there's nothing wrong with taking the traditional route. Maybe start taking painting classes once or twice a week. You might find you enjoy it more than you thought. Remember, while it's understandable to try and find a hobby that you're naturally good at, as seeing results with your work can be very rewarding, the whole point of a creative outlet is to find something that you can focus on and enjoy. It's to enjoy the process, not about the result. Something you have fun doing, something you can dive into and really enjoy. So find something you're passionate about and see what kind of outlets might connect to it. You might be surprised how much you really enjoy something you thought you would never be good at. Thanks so much for listening to Keep Coloring. Tune in next week in episode 4, where I'm going to be going into a little more detail on how, once you've found your creative outlet, how you can work it into your day-to-day routine or your day-to-day life. Remember, we're all going to be okay as long as we keep coloring.